always rewatch these right after I record them, to make sure that uh, I still want to post it. Like, I literally watch my bullshit and then I'm like, yes, that's what I will share with the entire world. But every single time I watch it, it's my fucking hair. It's my fucking hair. I hate it. And every time I watch it, I'm like, oh, why didn't I fucking look? Why didn't I look? Okay. I don't know why I did that. Starting out with some big brain moves. God damn it. So, there I was watching the 30-second video of somebody's playthrough of Stardew Valley, and I was like, you know what? I think I feel like making a video today. Like, just a normal one, like they always were. I even tried, like, getting the setup to be somewhat similar to what I had them as, like, what fucking month is it? God damn, that was 6 months ago. Anyway, I don't know where I was getting with that. My point is, like, I just wanted to do a normal video, nothing artsy, and, well, nothing that I think is artsy anyway. I don't think anything I've done so far has been particularly artsy, but, you know, just like the same generic theatrics that I initially was putting on. Just me, the screen, the mirror, and the camera. Anyway. I've been good. I'm still going to therapy, but I kind of hate it now. And not because it's not doing what it's supposed to. It is doing what it's supposed to, and I'm just not having a good time with it. Mostly because I deeply struggle with expressing my emotions and my feelings. And I am in a relationship, which is, like, pretty cool. It's pretty cool. But I'm getting in my own fucking head, and I'm thinking that I'm not communicating when, like, that's not at all what's happening. I had, like, I don't know, I tried expressing this in during an appointment right before I was supposed to hang out with him. We went to, like, Encore in Boston, and it was my first time going to a casino in all of my life. So I only took $40 because I just, like, you know, wanted to dip my toes and try it out. And after the first hour, I was up by, like, $40, and I was like, hell yeah, I like this. And he was up by, like, 60. Like, we're doing fantastic. And then the fucking power went out, and luckily, like, we were walking in between machines when that happened, but it just sucked because after that, we, like, lost everything. Like, the machines were not on our side, and they were before that happened, so that was a bitch, but it was pretty cool. And we also stayed in the, at the hotel, which was, like, really cool and really nice, and they had a Nespresso machine that, like, you can put espresso in. And anyway, after my one night of being fancy, I desperately want a fucking Nespresso machine. They're not that expensive. They're like $200, and I don't know, man, that espresso is really fucking good, and it would pay for itself if I, you know, would simply stop paying for shitty espresso that Greater Boston has to offer, except for the one place that I really love, but it's too far. And anyway, I'm fucking rambling. I will literally take any opportunity to talk shit about the coffee in Greater Boston. I'm just like, I'm still so fucking tired of it. I'm so fed up. Like, I pay how much for rent and I can't get a good fucking cappuccino? Like, are you shitting me? The two aren't related, but they kind of are. I digress. So there I was in therapy, like, avoiding the topic, and I needed to, I was there and I needed a pack, and I just like, the week before we'd started touching on like a touchier subject, and I ended up crying, and I was just so emotionally just exhausted, and I was like desperately trying to not make that happen again, like right before going to a, having a great fun time. And then oh, my fucking hair. And then I didn't cry, but I did get very frustrated. I was getting very frustrated with myself because I really struggle with trying to express my emotions, and that's literally how the conversation started. I was kind of panicking because of this and this and that, because I feel like I'm not very good at expressing myself. And she was like, well, why do you think that? And my brain was like, because this and this and this and this and this and this and this, and it started getting so overwhelming and just very loud, and in ways that I've never really noticed before until I started therapy. And she was like, you're saying a lot of things right now that don't make sense. And I was like, that's exactly my point. That's exactly my point. And she was like, no, I think it's blah, 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 blah. Like, let's try to dig deeper. Let's try to. And I was like, well, it's blah, blah, blah. And she's like, no, that's your problem solver. Kick the problem solver away. Kick the analyzer away. Like, we're trying to get to this thing. Like, the analyzer's doing great things here. It's done great things for you. It's gotten you very far in life. But that's not who we're trying to talk to today. And I was like, and then this other part of me that's frustrated with myself is like, why can't you just be fucking normal and just talk about what you want to talk about? And like, maybe it's not even a big deal. And like literally just fucking stop it. And that one, it's like, that's another one that's like, go away. I'm trying to get to the. Oh, it was very overwhelming, and because of that, because I keep leaving therapy like that, it keeps coming back in my head, and I can't get out of it, because now I'm like, well, now I want to talk to you and solve it, except I don't want to talk to you. I just want to forget you exist, and I want to just like live my life, but I can't because you're ruining my life. It's just like so frustrating. But anyway, a series of things happened over the weekend that were entirely and completely in my head, and I let it get so big in my head that by the end of it, I was so fucking exhausted. I came home and I cried. And it wasn't because I had a bad time. I didn't have a bad time. I kept thinking that my boyfriend wasn't having a good time. And from that was the single thought. That was the only thought. And from there, I went spiraling. And I didn't really have any evidence to back that theory. And I haven't really asked about it because I know I don't. Okay, I'm getting a little too. Okay, let's back up. Anyway, my point is, it was almost entirely all in my head, and I could not for the fucking life of me make it stop. And I was trying to figure out, like, why do I feel like this? Is this a good time to talk to my parts? Probably not, but I'm gonna try it anyway, because I don't know what the fuck to do here. And I just, like, I desperately shouldn't have. And what I should have done was do that thing where you're like, count 5 things that you can see, things you can hear, and things you can smell. That's what I should have done, because I was abso-fucking-lutely spiraling. And I couldn't get out of it. And when I got home, I cried, and I turned this camera on, and I started playing Tetris, and I was like, I'm going to talk this fucking through like I'm talking to somebody, like I'm walking somebody through my goddamn brain right now. And I did make some kind of progress, but I was crying, and I was crying so much. Like, it never really occurred to me that I use so much brain power on just my anxiety and just worrying, and like, there's so many things in my head. There's a part of me that's frustrated with myself, and there's another part of me that's like ready to accept everything that is about to fall apart as it is. And so it's very sad and very depressing, and that's the part that makes me brutally hate myself, and while also just accepting things for the way they are and just like being sad. It literally shuts me down, and it's like physically makes me stiff and quiet and just very sad. And then there's another part of me that's like, why are you like this? Stop it. You know that this is all just like the shit that you do, and it's not real, and blah blah blah. And then that one's just kind of mean, because that one's just angry at me for the way that I am. And through all of it, I can't, it's just so loud. It's so loud. It's so loud. And I can't make it stop. And it's so exhausting. And like, I really feel that if I wasn't using so much brain power on this shit, that I would have been Einstein. Like, all of that power would have gone straight to math. And like, I would have, I don't know, like, truly could have been something, I feel, if like all of my brain power wasn't fucking taken up by all of this shit, which in the end is what I desperately want to work through. And you know, maybe talking on here is easy because some of that brain is, you know, on this game, and the other part of it is trying to talk coherently, but without the pressure of somebody actually being here. Maybe this is why this works for me so well. I'm not sure. I think this works for me so well because I listen to so many fucking podcasts, and this feels like a podcast like form, and it's very easy to just like talk as if I'm on a podcast, like interviewing myself. I listen to way too fucking many of them, which isn't bad. In fact, I think it's a very good thing for me. God damn, I do be digressing. I don't think I've touched on any of the subjects on that sticky note. Well, I guess I have touched on one. And it is that therapy is hard. It's so hard. It's so hard. And that, yeah, like the last one that I had, it was like, I was like, well, that's probably because of this, but I don't want to get into it. And she was like, well, you said it, so it sounds like you want to get into it. And I was like, I really don't. I just I'm supposed to go to a casino. I don't want to cry. And I didn't cry, but I did get very, very frustrated. Anyway, I'm just sitting in silence for a second. Okay. I know I'm gonna watch this and I'm gonna hate my fucking hair. I always do. Speaking of self-hatred, I went through my Wreck This journal last night. I stumbled upon a TikTok of a guy that's currently doing one, and I went and found mine. What's funny is like this is actually my second Wreck This journal. I had a first one in high school, and I started over because I hated it. But I got pretty far in it, and anyway, I got a second one. No, god damn it, in like 2015. One of the pages was dated, which is good. And I didn't even date it. My sibling dated it, so if they hadn't, I would have been lost. I had a Whataburger receipt in there, but the date part faded away. Anyway, so I have some pages filled out. Most of them are not filled out. But I was looking through it, and you know, like in this time where I'm trying to like figure myself out in as healthy of a way as possible without like letting my fucking demons roam fucking free any goddamn time they want, it's cool that I've found this thing that's actually a time capsule, because yes, I have journals on journals on journals, but my journals are very morbid and they're very sad, and I don't have really any other window into my past other than looking at my saddest thoughts. And this one is different because it's more of my creative self, and it's more of like the things that I enjoyed at the time. Like I have like, I kept going through the pages. I drew the Orion constellation. I found, I think, 3 of them, and I wasn't even really looking, and I probably put more in there. But at the time, I was very obsessed with that constellation. I was very obsessed with it because I was really thinking about getting a tattoo of it. And I kept putting it everywhere. just to make sure, like, do I want this? Is this something that I want? Am I going to be happy with it? And anyway, it ended up being my first tattoo, and I got it when I was 21 years old, so I got it right around that time. And I love it. And I love the reason why I got it, and, you know, none of that's really changed. I forgot what I was saying. But at the time, I was just so deeply in my major and in my work. I found another page, like, it's the page that says, like, talk about a time or it was something like make a mess and clean it up. And I just wrote about how in a lab, you might make messes, you might fuck up, but just, like, stay calm and clean it. Stay calm and clean the glassware. Stay calm and, you know, whatever the fuck happened, like, it'll be okay. And then, you know, the days will go on and whatever. You know what? I think I just hate my haircut. The last time that I got my haircut by the lady I went to, she did a face frame, but she did it, like, layered like that. And this time she didn't. It's, like, all... And I don't like it. I've had this haircut since fucking... the end of December, and it's April, and I'm finally saying it. I don't like my haircut, and I hate my face. Anyway, I did start this out by saying I was talking about my self-hatred. In regards to this journal, I could see myself holding back, and I could see myself wanting to be a perfectionist and to be whimsical and to be something, I don't know. A lot of what I was doodling was, like, very pretty, like, I don't know, cottagecore Pinterest shit. And I guess I wanted to be perceived in a way that wasn't me. A lot of what I did was garden-esque, because at the time I was obsessed with my garden, and I was obsessed with, I don't know, that lifestyle kind of, but not in the most healthy way. Like, I really did love gardening, but I just, like, I don't know how to explain it. I was holding myself back in a lot of creative ways because I was trying to be something in particular that I couldn't be. I don't know how to draw a garden, or, like, I don't know how to draw vegetables. And now, like, I understand that, and in the last few years I have been painting more, and I've been creating more, and I really love, I always end up painting plants, but not in the way that I was doing it previously. I'm doing it in my own way, and I'm really liking the way that they're coming out. You know, at the time, I really, like, there wasn't a single doubt in my mind that I wasn't going to go to grad school, that I wasn't going to get a doctorate. There was not a single fucking doubt in my mind. At the time, I was fully obsessed with Marie Curie. I lived by one of Cecilia Payne's quotes, which is why I have her name there, that I completely fucking forgot about. But the quote is, and I mean, I was obsessed with it. The quote is, the widening, no. Your reward will be the widening of the horizon as you climb. And I always thought that was so fucking cool. It's part of her answer to young people who, especially women, who want to go forward with a career in science. Like, you have to want it. Like, you can't want to do anything else in this world. You have to want it. And, like, not, and she does say don't do it for the fame or for the maybe even the idea of the success of it, because success comes so far and few between, like, in science, as far as research goes and breakthroughs go, especially, like, in astronomy at her time. I literally can't remember. I'm pretty sure she's the woman, I'm pretty sure she's the person who figured out what stars are made of, based on, I think it's called spectroscopy. You're just looking at the wavelengths of something, and it tells you what element it is, and blah, blah, blah. I'll play one more game. Yeah, that's where my whole life was. And so I'm seeing, like, just how much I've changed like in the last 7 years, and it's fucking crazy. And then how much of myself is still the same. On a page, it was called like Page of Good Thoughts. There was one about like just going to a coffee shop and getting coffee. There was one about playing chess with my brother and my sibling. There's one about my grandma's cooking. And then there was one that was like talks with Aubrey, and Aubrey was my ex-boyfriend, and so it's still my journal, so I crossed it out. And that's also another thing I've been doing. I've like been putting things over it. Like on the page that was like color this page in its entirety, I saw myself holding myself back like then when I colored it, and I just colored more on it. And now it's like me, but not me, but still me. So I'm like literally trying to unravel all of these things, and I think that like I'm such a fucked up person and that all I am is pain, and it's just been me trying to figure out my shit all these years. But there's also a whole fucking person here. And I've changed like in so many ways, and I'm the same in so many ways. And it was a healthy way of looking at my past, I think, and of not hating it. Yeah. Real quick, I put Fermat's last theorem there, the x to the n plus y to the n equals d to the n, because that quote about the reward will be the widening of the horizon as you climb. I will never get a doctorate, and I can now say that I don't want it. But that doesn't mean that I don't still want to think about these things. And because I'm not going to go into that research, I'm not going to be able to figure a lot of shit out. But at least, like, with the things and patterns that I've noticed, like, why not fucking share it with the world so, like, people who are equipped to handle the problem can maybe tell me something about it. So, years ago, right around the time when I had that journal, I was obsessed with like this problem, and basically like the day after I heard about it, I came up with that thing. When I'm in a math mode, it's fucking weird. My brain tells me things, just pops up with an idea or a pattern, and I go along with it, and then I'm like, oh wow, that works. And then I don't question it after that. And then people are like, how'd you do that? And I'd be like, I don't know. And that's what is truly frustrating. It's like I come up with these things and ideas, and people are like, how do you know that? And I was like, I think I read about it once, and then I do end up being right, but I have absolutely I have nothing to back it up. There's something in my brain that just tells me things. And that sounds really weird, but that is what happens. So anyway, this pattern came into my head pretty fucking quickly. And that's another thing that happens when I'm given problems like this. Whatever first pops in my head, like within the first 48 hours, that's as close as I'm gonna fucking get. I never get any closer. So with this one, I wrote the equation there. For some reason, it works pretty well. It's not perfect, but it gets you really fucking close. Like you're off by a mere decimal point. So for instance, if you were to do the number, I think the number 5 gets me the closest. I think you'd have to check me the math because I don't want to. I've done it too many times and I don't care. But yeah, so if we pick the number 5, that means we're doing everything to the 5th power. So that's your n. So to figure out your x, y, and z, I kind of just start with y in my head. So 2n squared plus 1, so that's 25 times 2 is 50, 51. So 51 to the nth. And all that fancy gibberish I have up there is basically just that x is 51 minus 5. So you have 46, and then z is 51 plus 5, so you have 55. So 46 to the 5th plus 51 to the 5th equals 56 to the 5th. It's not exact, but it's pretty goddamn close. And I just want to know why. Why does that work in particular? As the numbers get bigger, the approximations get more off. But yeah, I just want to know why it works. That's all. What else do I have to touch on? Oh, fuck McAfee. When I was making that, sticky note, McAfee was like, take a look at what we protected you from March. Like, I don't fucking, just do your fucking job. Enough with your pop-ups that I can't get rid of. Also, I fucking hate you. I'm gonna have to pay for them again in May, and I just don't fucking want to. I don't fucking want to. I don't fucking want to. There was one year that I missed it, and immediately my laptop was so fucking slow, and I was like, wow. It's McAfee, that's the problem. Fuck you, McAfee. Fuck you and your virus ways. I want you gone, and I want to get Norton instead. Fuck you, McAfee. Fuck you, McAfee. Fuck you, McAfee. I hope my phone fucking hears this and start showing me Norton apps, because Norton apps. Because I hate living like this. They're literally nothing good for you. I had a joke about, but I didn't set any of that up right. But I had a joke about how they're not good for anything except their McFucking-fee. Anyway, I hate them. And yeah, that's it. I mean, a lot of things have happened since the last time we chatted, but I don't really remember any of them. My family came and visited me, and that was really nice. We went to a lot of places and did a lot of things. Portland was cool. We hung out in, like, Chinatown. We were exactly 1 block away from Tom Holland and Zendaya when they were in Boston, so that hurt. ¿Qué más? I nearly lost my shit in Gloucester. Oh, I guess not my shit, but my piss. I needed to pee. And I couldn't. It's a long ass story. We were gonna, like, just chill at a park before going home. Like, we were gonna have lunch in, like, this park, and I had to fucking pee, and I thought there were bathrooms at this park. Like, I don't know why I thought this. I think maybe in the summer there was, because I swear I saw people going into this building. And anyway, when I went, there wasn't fucking, and I was walking around this whole fucking building, and this lady was like, are you looking for the bathroom? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, yeah, it's not open yet. And I was like, fuck. And she was like, yeah, I mean, there's a porta potty down, blah, 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 blah. But if you're driving that far, you might as well just go to the nearest Dunkin'. And I was like, okay. So then I drove to Dunkin', and they didn't have a fucking bathroom, so I was losing it. And then I drove to McDonald's, and my family got a fucking Shamrock Shake, because we were like, what's this Irish bullshit? We got one of those. It's just mint chocolate. It's just mint ice cream in a cup. And yeah, so I went to the fucking McDonald's, and I'm like, the bathroom's fucking locked, so I'm thinking somebody's in there, and then I'm waiting, and nobody's fucking coming out, and I'm about to fall over. I have to pee so bad. And I go to the counter, and I fucking, like, my mom was, there's a button. There's a fucking button. I was like, is there a key or something for the bathroom? And she was like, no, I have to push this button to let you in. It was like, wow, there's literally not a sign here. This is literally a billion-dollar company that's fucking security keeping their fucking bathroom. Like, she literally, like, the cashier has a million other things to do other than being the fucking bathroom monitor. And then I peed. Any other notable things? They visited me, and that was nice. I changed a headlight in my car, and if it hadn't been for my boyfriend, I would have had half of my car disassembled, because I couldn't figure out how to get this fucking bulb off the fucking clip, and I was losing my shit, and then he came and unclipped it in 2 seconds, and I was like, well, fuck this. I feel like many other things have happened. I've watched many a show. Anyway, I'm rambling now. Okay, bye.